Me and Jordan planned on getting a DNA test, but then he was tragically murdered.
In the case of 2.5-year-old Nasir, Lakeisha, coming to us now from Raytown, Missouri, is Lakeisha. On July 22nd, 2018, Lakeisha's son and only child, Jordan, was gunned down and murdered while leaving a gas station. Before that tragic day, Lakeisha was made aware of a woman named Neffy who had claimed that Jordan was the father of her son, Nasir. A claim, by the way, that Jordan denied while he was alive. Today, Lakeisha wants to know once and for all if baby Nasir is a living, breathing part of her son whose life was cut way too short. So, welcome, Lakeisha. I'm sorry about your loss, of course.
Thank you, Maury.
What made you pick up the phone and contact our show?
I was actually watching the episode, Maury, where two women had claimed that a deceased man had fathered their children, and come to find out he was the father of both of their children. And I decided to reach out to you, and I really thank you for helping me with this.
Well, let's talk first of all about the relationship with your son, your only child. What was that like?
I had Jordan when I was really young, so me and Jordan pretty much grew up with each other. He was my best friend, my everything. Yeah. So I'm hoping for the best that Nasir does come out to be Jordan so that I have a piece of Jordan with me.
What happened over 2 years ago?
Pretty much the worst day of my life. Son was leaving a gas station. He was brutally murdered. Don't have a whole lot of leads in regards to what happened. His murder is still unsolved as of today, Maury.
Yeah. Before your son passed away, did you know anything about this woman named Neffy and her child?
It was brought to my attention, yes. Before Jordan had passed away, she had reached out to my cousin, and my cousin did mention it to me. When I brought it to Jordan's attention, Jordan pretty much denied it and just kind of threw it off, and then we didn't hear anything about it until after he passed on.
Your cousin Precious, by the way, who is like a sister to Jordan, she's
Yes.
with us today, and we're going to talk to her a little later in the show. Precious doesn't think that Jordan's the father either, does she?
No more. We just have our doubts because, like, Jordan has really strong genes. His daughter is a spitting image of him. I hope that Nasir happens to be Jordan's, but like I said, it's just, I'm not seeing the resemblance there.
So let's take a look at Jordan and let's take a look at Nasir, and you say you don't see anything there.
No.
But you want to be sure. Obviously, Neffy wants to be sure. So what happened was, another one of the reasons why you doubt that Nasir could be your grandson is that Neffy waited a long time to get in touch with you, right?
I
Yes.
waited a long time because I wanted her to heal. I did not want to just come out and interrupt because he had a family already. I'm not that type of person. I'm not a homewrecker. I'm not none of that. So I just basically gave everybody, their space and all that to grieve or, their loss or whatever. So that's why I waited so long.
Can you accept
And
that?
I do respect her. I do accept that, yes.
What other doubts do you have besides the time difference in terms of not knowing from Neffy and the fact that you don't think that Nasir looks like Jordan? The fact that Jordan told your cousin that he wasn't the father? And then
Yes, and then when I mentioned it to him, he just kind of blew me off and said, "Oh, I only have one child," and we never heard anything else about it.
you've never seen Nasir in person, have you, Lakeisha?
Well, the first time I seen Nasir in person is when we went to take the paternity test. He's such a handsome little boy.
Your mind didn't change when you took a look at him in person?
It did a little. It did, Maury. Yes. Jordan has a cousin, and Nasir, he does favor one of Jordan's little cousins on his dad's side. So,
I also think that he could have some of my features mixed in with his. My father, he has sons, and they don't really look like him, but I basically is a spitting image of him. So that's why I believe that this could be true.
Well, I'm going to talk to you further, Neffy, and I also want to talk to Jordan's cousin and Lakeisha's cousin, Precious, when we come back. And we're going to have a DNA test that can hopefully solve this in a positive way after that. So before the break, we met Lakeisha, who's desperate to find out if a 2-year-old child named Nasir is her grandson. And sadly, Lakeisha's son, Jordan, was murdered 2 years ago. But before he died, he told his mother he didn't believe that Nasir was his son. Nasir's mother, Neffy, is here today, hoping that a grandparentage DNA test proves that Jordan did, in fact, father her son. This is Neffy's story.
I miss Jordan more than anybody. The day that I found out that he was murdered was one of the saddest days of my life. Not only did I lose someone that I cared about, but my son lost his father too. I spent 6 months trying to get in touch with Jordan's family, and that led me to his mom, Lakeisha. But she said that Jordan has never mentioned me or Nasir. Me and Jordan planned on getting a DNA test, but then he was tragically murdered. Lakeisha and Precious would have known Nasir. It's not my fault that we never got that chance. I'm ready to reunite Nasir with his grandmother so Jordan's legacy can live on.
Okay, so joining us again live from Kansas City, Missouri, is Nasir's mother, Neffy. Neffy, you have any doubts about Jordan being the father?
No, I do not. Actually, I calculated my conception date very well. He's the only person that I've, been with that weekend.
But it's important for you to prove that Nasir is her grandson.
Yes, it's very important because I want my son to know his family, if it is true.
So let's talk about your relationship with Jordan. What was it like?
It really wasn't a relationship. It was more like I call it a fling. I believe at the time that he was in a relationship with his child's mother.
What did Jordan say when I assume you told him you were pregnant, right?
Yeah, he denied it, of course. Because I'm not going to lie. I'm a very honest person. I was getting around at the time. So, if I was Jordan, I would absolutely say the same thing.
So do you feel that there could be a possibility it could be someone else?
No, I do not.
All because of the conception dates?
Yes.
How could you say that?
It's very close, and I usually keep track of who I slept with, so.
Hopefully it turns out that he is, Jordan's son.
Yes. Yes.
Did you try to contact anybody in Jordan's family before he passed away?
I think I did contact Precious.
Before Jordan passed away?
She did.
Yeah, she
it was before he passed.
Messaged me on Facebook.
I see.
And I took it to him immediately. I read it. I took it to him like, this girl is messaging me saying that she's pregnant. He took my phone, deleted the message, and blocked her. That was the last thing I heard about it up until maybe 6 months after he passed. She reached out again. And that's when I took it to Keisha, like, this is the same girl from last time. She's saying that her son is Jordan's. And I left it with Keisha because that's morally her job to do.
My condolences to you because not only were you Jordan's cousin, but you were like brother and sister.
Yes, we were.
Actually, he would stop by to see you the day he died, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the last person he talked to on the phone before it happened.
Are you skeptical about Jordan being the father of Nasir?
Like I've told Keisha, they're young. So they running around messing with each other. The only doubt I have is because he doesn't have the same similarities. He doesn't really look like Jordan to me, but we can't go off of the look. The blood is what's going to tell us, and that's what I'm waiting for.
I think everybody in this case, this is a piece of Jordan, if it indeed is your grandson, Lakeisha. And
yes,
so
Maury.
maybe we can provide you with an answer you're looking for. One way or another, we're going to know, okay? And I have the answer right here. In the case of 2.5-year-old Nasir, Lakeisha, you are not the grandmother. I'm sorry, Neffy, and I'm sorry, Lakeisha.
Thank you, Maury.
But at least we know now.
Thank you, Maury.
And I guess Jordan's inclinations were right back when he was alive, when it came to whether he fathered their son. I'm very sorry for you, Neffy. And
I'm sorry for putting the family through that as well.
It's okay. It's okay,
It's
Maury.
fine, Neffy. You had to find out. You had to know.
Yes.
Neffy,
And I had to also give y'all closure, so
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that.
at least
too.
you know that.
Yes, I do.
Neffy, if you need our help in terms of Nasir's father, we'll be glad to help you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. We'll be back right after this.
You are not the father.